All right. Hey, welcome to Reborn. I'm sitting in again for Felipe. He's out right now, and we just hope he's doing okay. I know where he's at. He's back down in San Antonio again with family, and they're going through some mourning, mourning, mourning down there. So we want to just let him know and let the family know that our prayers are with him while they're down there. I hope you guys have a great time while you're there, even though getting with family and stuff. So we go around the table and find out did you guys call on your shirts?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
They're not the same color.
Well, look on there. When we look on the
Yeah,
camera, it does kind of look pretty
do,
close.
but
So
not.
how was your day? Was it work hard today?
Yeah.
Did you do school?
Yeah.
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 Is that it?
Yeah.
No.
I took care of my dog.
You got a new dog.
Yep, I got
Now,
a
what's
new
your
dog.
dog's name?
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon. See, that's a girl name for a dog. Now, what did you get?
I got a Dutch Shepherd.
A Dutch Shepherd, and she calls him Cinnamon. Now, I saw a picture of him. He looks like a brindle, a brindle color, and it looks pretty good. But, I mean, is it a he or a she?
It's a he.
And you named him Cinnamon. Okay. You know the dog's going to have a complex.
I thought
should be
Cinnamon was
like-
a female name also.
Butch or,
Well,
Cujo.
Buddy.
Well, we were
Buddy.
thinking about it at last minute, right before we were gonna adopt him. They're like, my mom was like, "What do you want to name him?" And I was like, Coco. And I
What
was
did
like,
you have to
"No,
know right then
Yeah.
or there, or what?
Yeah, it's not like a birth
Oh.
certificate where you put the name on, you got to keep it that way. You can change his name because the dog really doesn't care.
I like to keep
You
it.
know, yeah, you can call
name
him
is
Rosebud
Cinnamon.
for all that.
His name is Cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Doesn't
Is it
care.
because he looks cinnamony? Okay.
Kinda. I
Well,
don't know.
yeah. But say what kind of dog he was?
Dutch Shepherd.
Dutch Shepherd. That's
Dutch
right.
Shepherd.
Dutch Shepherd. I was going to look that up just to see what kind of dog you got your hands on around and what kind of training he did.
Yeah.
Our next door neighbor over here, he's got a Malinois. I'm not pronouncing it right. Malinois.
Oh, I know
That's
a certain
that.
type of.
It looks like a German Shepherd, but he's not. And I thought, man, that dog looks pretty cool. Man,
They're
I don't-
vicious.
I don't know. Well,
They're
that one.
vicious.
They're
That
vicious.
I think it might be the company he runs around with out over there. But so that you got your dog now. You guys got to remember now. She's a cat person too. So she is now that she's got a dog, and she's gonna, I think, actually experience what real love is as compared to what the cats do.
Hey.
What does it say? Dogs have owners, cats have staff, right? You just work for them. Yeah. And how many cats do you have?
I have one.
Yeah, but all together.
How many do you have at your
Oh.
home?
Oh, like outside too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait a second. Before you say this, I know what some of you are going to think. We have a cat lady in the making. So how many cats are outside?
I think 13.
13
Oh
cats.
my gosh.
Maybe 13 in total, including Babu. So maybe 12 outside.
Babu.
Oh my gosh.
And so, you got any black cats?
Yeah.
So they cross your path, you don't?
No, he's he's a sweet boy.
Yeah, he's a sweet boy. Yeah. So have you seen how the dog reacts to the cat yet?
Yeah, he wants to play with them.
Oh, play. Yeah. He wants to play with them, Candy.
Right.
Like a chew toy?
No, he wants someone to play with. He wants to play with the dogs too, but the dogs don't like him.
You got dogs? Other dogs?
Yeah, I have chihuahuas.
Chihuahuas.
Oh,
Little.
chihuahuas. You got chihuahuas. Yeah.
I have two.
Yeah, I bet
There's
they're
two
vicious
chihuahuas.
towards him right now, right?
Yes, and they don't like him for nothing.
Yeah, and you know what? They'll, as long as he's a pup, they'll keep going after him. Once he gets bigger, he ain't gonna tolerate it no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets a little stronger.
I know he's just like,
on
oh,
that.
I want to play with
Yeah.
y'all.
So-
They're so cute.
So when y'all getting your dog?
Oh, we're not. No. Now I think about it often. I would love a dog, but I don't have time. See? Maybe need to curb
Well,
that.
see, a cat.
Well,
A cat doesn't care if you got time or not.
Exactly. A cat just is there. They do.
Yeah.
That's why are they high maintenance? They're not. They just live
It
their
depends.
life.
It honestly.
I've had
I
cats
think they're-
before, and I like
I
cats.
I think cats just wait for you to die.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
hoping they get your inheritance.
I don't know.
My cat can't survive without me. Anytime whenever we left for camp, my dad
Oh,
told me
that's
that
what
he
you
kept.
think.
No, my dad told me that he kept laying down all day and that he wouldn't do nothing. He wouldn't.
That's what cats do.
No, he wouldn't.
How can you tell that there's any different?
I know.
He was
Like-
missing me
like,
because he was
I've
laying
I've
down.
had many cats, and that's all my cats do. What
And-
No,
yeah.
my baby.
While
They're
I
not
was
doing
gone, he was
anything.
still acting like a cat.
No,
Imagine
he missed
that.
me. He's my baby. He got happy once he saw me back home. He's my baby.
Yeah,
He
Okay.
is.
And only if your dad wasn't feeding him while you were gone.
Maybe that was the case.
Maybe that could have been it. Hey, anybody feed me? Yeah. Oh
might
goodness,
be.
I've seen cats that act like dogs, where they'll actually go fetch,
Mhm.
come back, and then they won't do it again until you pay them. So, I know we probably got cat lovers out there in the broadcast, so we want to be careful about that. I was talking about cats one time, and then after during a service, talking about the difference between cats and dogs, and how we should love Jesus, how dogs love you,
Oh,
and
the
how
way
cats
dogs-
love you. So we need to be like dogs loving you instead of cats as far as loving Jesus, because they can like, yeah, take it or leave it, right? And then after the service, I had somebody come up, I love my cat. I said, your cat may be fine, may be great. Yeah, if your cat's like every other cat I know. Oh,
Yeah.
so we
Mine
got
were
to,
always mean.
huh?
My cats were always mean.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm. So you got a topic for us for tonight.
Yep.
What is our topic?
Okay, our topic is faith in the waiting room.
Okay.
Okay. I don't have any questions for this, so we're gonna go. Okay. It says God's delays aren't denials. Waiting shapes endurance, protects us from wrong timing, and deepens trust. Yeah, that's what it says. Those are
Okay.
notes I have.
So it's having faith while you're waiting for God to do something is
Mhm.
basically what it's referring to.
Yes.
And you see a lot of that in Scripture, right?
Mhm.
We've been talking about this and talking about Abraham waiting to have Isaac, and he
Mhm.
gets in the way. And I think that's one of the things we got to be careful of is when God tells us He's going to do something, or shows He's going to do something, we want it to happen tomorrow,
Right.
and it doesn't, and so we get impatient. And then, the reason why Israel has problems with all of the other Middle Eastern people groups is because Abraham wouldn't wait, right? And so we get Ishmael, and then from Ishmael we get later on, it was much later, it was 14 years before Isaac comes on the scene. So he may have elongated his wait because he wouldn't wait. Right? Had to start over on
Right.
that. So it's interesting.
And waiting is hard.
Waiting is hard.
It's very
Waiting
hard.
is hard. Sometimes I don't do that. No.
Sometimes I don't either.
Okay, I do actually have a question. How can one see waiting as let me think of the right word. Oh, preparation, not a punishment.
It's a good question. It's a good question.
How can you see it that way?
Mhm.
I don't think that you can see it that way if you don't have a relationship with Christ or have faith at all. How can you? I mean,
I'll give-
honestly.
you know this, and it's when God calls you to preach, you don't start next week,
Yeah.
right? When God calls you to a ministry, like when He called me, it took 14 years to go from He called me. Now I got to preach, but to get
But
to
there was
where
preparation
there
that was required.
There was
to do that.
preparation, definitely, that was required to do that, and not just studying the Bible stuff. It was also managing people and leadership and those sort of things. That if I'd have just jumped out there and done it, looking back on it, it'd have been a mess. It'd have been an absolute train wreck
Yeah.
on that compared to where we're at today. And some of the things I learned in the corporate management applied it. That I had to go through these years of different types of managing different types of people to get to church and realize you're managing different kinds of people as well and dealing with that. So that stuff like that. I know preachers that they get out of college or get out of the university and they go, okay, I'm ready. All the things that my pastor was doing wrong, I got to go out and make it right. And here
Yeah.
we go, and they get out there and they go hop from church to church to church, and particularly they go from they're I think and it's sad to say this, I think they see success as, I'm not a success unless I am mega church status, right? And until I can get to mega church status, and in that framework, that's corporate thinking, right? I haven't made it to the big time till I am in a large corporate company and making it big in the large
Sure.
corporate company.
Because starting out, you have to start out, down here to work yourself up a ladder per se, but you have to be willing to take out the trash, pick up
Yeah.
trash that you see that nobody's asking you to do, or doing the small little things, to then work your way up. Nobody just starts at the top, they don't. Like you said, getting out of college right away, you think, I'm gonna go do it, and it doesn't happen tomorrow. That's not the way it is. I remind my son all the time too. He's only 10, but even in learning how to do something, right? You're not going to learn perfectly how to do it. Tying your shoe, as easy as tying a shoe. He got so frustrated tying his shoe, and he thought, I'm never going to learn how to tie my shoe. Sure you are. Well, let's learn first. What is the first thing we have to do? You do it in steps, right? And then now,
Make the rabbit ears.
Yeah. I never did the rabbit ears.
I don't
just
know
said,
how
I
it
don't know.
works either.
I'm like, I don't know how that story goes, but anyway. But we learn, right? We learn from the smallest of things, and then we're like, oh man, you remember when I couldn't tie my shoe? Those things. I mean, you think back, right? Probably when you're a preacher and you've learned a lot and studied, but to get to where you're at, like you said, it took you 14 years to actually say
Just to get to the first step.
just to get
Yeah.
there, right? But but we have to be ready to listen to God to tell us, yeah, is it time now? Am I ready now? Is it time now? Yeah, the waiting time can,
Yeah.
because you might have thought you were ready probably a long time ago.
I was
prior
wondering
to.
what was happening.
Why isn't he
why
calling
am I
me?
going?
Where am I? Where am
Yeah.
I supposed to go? What am I doing? Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. Oh, yeah, I've had those feelings. Like, hey, what's going on? What's going on?
Yep.
I'm listening to you. This is where you want me to be. Why isn't this happening? Why isn't this happening? I mean, a case in point. Sometimes that I struggle with being in the teen group. Our teen group is not very large, but I know there's a purpose in that. Even right now, there's still. Of course, the ones that are there are important to teach, and I don't know why we don't have 100 kids in here, but maybe that's how God wanted it. He wants it for whatever purpose it is, whatever. Maybe it's for us to learn more. Maybe it's for us to really dig in and be like, you know what? If it's just one, it's important. They're important, But I get kind of frustrated in the waiting. Like, okay, when is it going to happen? What are we going to do? Or let's do this and let's do that. And there's a lot of thoughts of what else can we do? What else can we do? But yeah, sometimes, God just sit where you're at and work where you're at, and it's okay,
Think about
It's frustrating
Noah,
sometimes.
120 years.
Yeah.
He didn't, he didn't get the command to build an ark and then start it the next day.
Right.
he
I think
had
that's
to
what a
go-
lot of people think,
He had to
though.
go to Lowe's and wait for someone to help him. And he had
I
to-
forget. That's why it took so long.
That's why it took so
That's
long.
why it took so long.
But
I know that feeling.
that's a message to you Lowe's people that work at Lowe's. But that
Now we lost all the loads.
that will also Lowe's people to two of them. But you see it with Noah. You see it with Abraham. Had to wait. Abraham and Sarah had to wait.
Yeah.
We
I say
see-
Sarah, man.
Yeah.
She was like, what, 90 years old or something,
90 when
having
she had him.
Isaac?
Yeah.
And look at her eyes are like, what? Yeah, that was old even back then, but that's crazy old now. What?
Yeah,
You-
we talked
you're
about
a
that.
90-year-old.
We talked about that very thing Wednesday. And it's
Oh,
like, can
yeah?
you imagine? He says, in Hebrews it said that he gave Sarah strength to conceive.
Yeah,
Just
she
the
would need
energy
strength
and
She
to
would need-
do that.
She would need
And-
extra strength.
And Abraham was 100 when he had.
Yeah.
And you see this, you see how that grows. But so you get Moses. People, this is where I think people that are entering ministries, they need to study better. Moses, 40 years he was in the king's court, in the Pharaoh's court. He learned how to be a king. He learned how to be a Pharaoh. But he didn't learn how to be a leader. in order for him to learn how to lead, God had to put him on the backside of a desert for 40 years herding sheep.
Right.
And we went to a play, and it was about David, actually, but it still rings true. You know, you herd cattle. You get behind them and you push them forward. You lead sheep, right? Sometimes leaders want to herd,
Yeah.
you know, just get them and get behind them. You've seen the Westerns. They get behind them in the middle of them. They
You
kind
ever seen a
of push them this way. You ever seen a Western? Yeah. Push them this way and
Yeah,
that way.
yeah.
But shepherds will lead, and then the sheep follow them, and that's what Moses had to learn, is that leaders lead.
Right.
And,
That's yeah. I guess I've thought about that at some point, but maybe others don't necessarily think like, well, why did he take so long? Why? Like the same thing that we're talking about. Why does it take so long? Why do we have to keep waiting? What am I waiting on? Well, that's the thing. I think when we don't listen to God, I think you can feel that way when you're not probably where you need to be with God, right? I mean, because if we're listening to things or not listening to things, should I say, not listening to God, then we're like, oh, what's taking so long? What's taking so long?
Yeah.
You know, because then it's my time. You know, God doesn't have a time. There's no time with him, right? We're the ones that keep looking at the watch and looking at our calendar, and the years go by and whatnot, and we're like, what's going on? That's what we feel. But
Yep.
I mean, if we listen to God, I feel like everything happens for a reason. I mean, I know there's been times in my life that I'm like waiting. Well, I've told the kids before, like I had my whole life planned out, and I've told you probably before, whole life planned out. Oh, what's taking so long? What's taking so long? You know, I'm like almost 50 now, but at some point there was many years that I was like, where's my kids? I wanted kids. Where are my kids at? Where are my kids? And I'm like, how come I'm not having kids? So that was hard to wait and constantly waiting. And then it's like, then until I realized I have kids. I have kids all around me all the time. You know, then I realized God's not answering my prayers. You know, he answered them all this time. And I'm just like too dumb and not thinking like, oh, what about me? What about me? You know, what I wanted. And then it was like, he had been answering my prayers all this time, and I was just not listening, you know.
Yep.
And obviously, then he gives me another one, still not by my womb, but he has given me another one, and I'm like, man, I could have not planned this. I couldn't have planned any of that out, but God had it all planned out. I just had to wait. And then until it was time. I didn't even have him till I was already older in age. What they would say, older in age.
Yeah. I've said this to our young people and some of the people that I've mentored, and I don't think it didn't always click with them. What I said is, don't forget, while you're training to go do the thing you want to do, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So
be where you're supposed to be.
Be where
what you're supposed to be doing.
No matter if you're going to go be a youth pastor or what are you supposed to be doing? Winning people to Christ and discipling them. What are you supposed to be doing right now? Leading people to Christ and discipling them.
Right.
So, no matter where a person moves through, it's going to be Jeffress or Jeremiah or the big time pastors. Well, they're in these big churches. What are they supposed to be doing? Winning people to Christ and discipling. So that's the thing that we have that sometimes gets lost in it. And if you won't do what you're supposed to do now, you can get every diploma and degree that you can get. You're still not going to be where God wants you to be if you're not doing that thing, right? Okay, great. I've got 14 doctorates and 34 masters, and I'm also a Jedi Knight.
And a lifetime of debt.
And, yeah.
On top of that,
yeah.
Now
you
what?
pray for God to part your diploma C, right?
Yeah.
And in the meantime, what are you supposed to be doing? Winning people to Christ,
right,
and discipling, loving them, being a Samaritan, going out and helping, finding something to do. But that's where sometimes they'll get lost in the waiting. As soon as I become a pastor, then I'll start winning people to Christ. Listen, if you're not doing it now, you're not going to do it then.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Well, as soon as I can do this, what?
And I think that's what I thought a lot too, because during my life, like I said, because I had it all planned out, I was like, well, once I get here, then I'm ready to do this. Once I get here, then I'm gonna do this. And the whole time, like you said, I should have been living for Christ, and I didn't. Unfortunately, I came to Christ and got saved already as an older adult. I didn't have, I didn't have a youth group. Yeah, I was old. I didn't have a youth group to hang out with. I didn't have other believers around me. So, yeah, so my walk has been only a short walk, really. I mean, so, I mean, I feel like had I had that, I feel like I would have listened, right? But that's the thing.
Yep.
I probably wouldn't have, right? Because I already had it. I know what I want. That's what I wanted. So,
I think part of the question is having faith in the waiting room is part of that. Let me say is you got while you're waiting on God to put you where He wants you, you got to be faithful doing what you're supposed to be doing anyway. So, like we said, well, when I was an associate pastor, or before I was an associate pastor, I was a church member winning people to Christ. Then I became an associate pastor, winning people to Christ. Became a pastor, winning people to Christ. So see, I think there's a reoccurring theme in there, right?
there's a
That doesn't
common
matter.
denominator there.
There's a common denominator in that. And so while I'm waiting where I'm at, I do what I know I'm supposed to do. And
Right.
God's going to count that faithfulness. Now, I know this says that we're waiting. It's not a time of punishment, but of just waiting, right? I think that's part of what the topic.
Or is
said.
it a denial that the fact that we're waiting so long, does that mean that God's saying no then?
He
right?
could.
He could definitely
He could, but
for
if he's
sure.
saying no, he's saying no to a lesser than what can be.
Oh yeah, like in my case, I mean, he said no for me to have children. I haven't had children. I can't have children. That doesn't mean that he didn't give me all these kids though in my life, you know, and that he didn't give me a child through adoption. The answer was not no. The answer was, let me give you even more than what you thought you could ever have.
The more
you
than,
know?
right?
The more than. He said it would be given to me abundantly. I mean, I see that, and the fact that that I saw that, and not just that, even before that, you know, I would see other little things that I would say, I trust God because He did this. I trust God because He did this. I mean, I had the faith that I don't know now. I don't know what's going on, but I had to trust God because I could see that He worked. I could see that He did this, you know, and so it was just a compilation of I have faith because I've seen Him work, because I know it's true, because I believe it. So, yeah, it's just a constant of, so now I need to be where I need to be. I may not know why I'm there, may not know where it's going, actually. It may veer another direction of what I think, but I trust that God knows.
Yes.
You know, so.
Yep. And sometimes, even though it might be a place, it could be a place where He's not doing anything because He's waiting on us to get our head right,
Oh, that's for sure.
right?
Mm-hmm.
He could be waiting on us to get some clarity. I mean, He did that with Jonah. When Jonah was in the whale or in the fish, God had a job for him to do, and he wouldn't do it, right? And what was he supposed to do? Win people to Christ. That's what he was supposed to do, right? Again, and
just
he
didn't
wouldn't
like-
do it, and
He
he'll,
just didn't like him.
you know, we can, as long as we're saying no to God, and not obeying what He's told us to do, He'll keep us in that
Do
belly.
it and do it over and over.
And
And sometimes we think, well, why is this happening again? Why is this happening again?
Yeah.
Probably because you didn't learn it the first time. Probably
Yep.
because you're not listening. There's something you're missing. There's something you're not getting right. At some point, hopefully, you figure that out and quit going searching for something that's not there, like
yeah.
going in circles.
It's like
Yeah.
when you think when you're in math, when you're in grade school and you're doing fractions and you go, man, I can't do fractions, but man, as soon as we get done with fractions, we'll
Right.
move on to something else.
And then
I won't
I'll
have
be
to do,
good at that.
and then
yeah.
I find out, oh no, fractions was just the start. Now I'm doing more fractions. But
Right, it compounds itself.
compounds,
itself.
yeah,
You
in a
can't
very-
not get through that. Yeah, that's what I
Exactly.
hated about math. Oh,
yeah. Yep.
math was
And
not my
that's-
strongest.
And like even with Moses, when God had told him, you're going to go to Egypt, you're going to talk to Pharaoh, because Moses didn't do what we today might think is not that big a deal thing, because he didn't circumcise his sons, God stopped him, was going to kill him. Well, wait a second, you're supposed to be doing this thing over here. He says, yeah, but if you won't do the little things, I'm not sending you to do the big things.
He's like, so what? Why is that important? Why do I have to do that little thing? Let me just skip that and go on over here.
Exactly.
We can't.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
I had a person a long time ago was debating with. Well, actually, it wasn't debate with me. It was debating with one of the members of the church. It was his father-in-law, I guess, and he was asking me about. Well, you know, you're always talking about you need to be in church, and what if I go out on Sunday morning and I'm out at Walmart and I'm in the parking lot and I'm winning people to Christ? Isn't that the right thing to do? I go, that would be a great thing to do. You got 6 days a week to do that. And he's going, yeah, well, and of course, and then I asked him, I said, so when you show them Jesus and they get saved, what's next? And he said, what do you mean? I said, what are you going to tell them to do next? And he said, I still don't know what you mean. I said, don't you have to send it? What's the next thing for him to do? He says, get baptized. Where? Aren't they going to ask you? They're going to ask you where do I get baptized at? And you're going to go, well, go to my church. You mean the one you don't go to?
The church that you're not at?
The church you're not at. And so it you know, and he always used this example, but I never saw any fruits of that either from him, right? Hey, I'm here because so-and-so at Walmart did. Are you doing that? No, but I said, well, then.
But I could.
It's a moot point. It's a moot point, you know. But it's those, what we think are not that big a deal things are the very things that keep us from from being able to really experience what God wants us to see.
Some people might say that being a Christian or living for Christ is hard. I don't think necessarily it is. When we're listening to the small things, he asks us to do very minimal things, very small things. Of course, in the beginning, does it get a little bit harder? Possibly, of course, because we have to build that strong faith in us. So the only way you're going to do that is maybe some trials and things. It's not perfect. We're going to go through all those things. He didn't say that we weren't. He would just be there with us.
Yep.
Right? So, yeah, I think some people say, it's not that big of a deal, but it sure is. The small things are big.
You know, here's the thing. When they say it's not that big a deal, then I want to say, well, then why are you making it a big deal? If it's not a big deal, then just do it. Right? And get blessed by it. And so then all of a sudden when you go, you got to do it, right? And he goes, it's not that big a deal. Well, if it's not that big a deal, just do it. Just do it. And it's hard for him to get. Then all of a sudden you go, well, but now I find out they reveal, I've got other things I want to do, right? I'd rather do this or I'd rather do that. So, So
just like one time
are you
Josiah to do
questions?
Something.
Are they getting questions on there or just comments or?
No.
I see you looking at. Oh, I'm sorry. She's playing Sudoku over there.
while we talk, we're boring her, so she's over there playing a game.
No, I'm getting my notes for our game.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Yeah. By the way,
Sorry.
you'll have 2 minutes left before we start our game.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well,
2 minutes.
but
well.
I think for folks, if you sometimes when God gives you a direction to do something, it may be you think, well, then obviously He wants me to do this. When it ain't obviously, well, I want you to study and get out. So, well, He must want me to be a pastor. No, He wants you to be a teacher at your school or a teacher.
Yeah, start a club at the school. Do something.
Be
I'm
something
not calling
completely
you
different.
right up there, right away. Right, it's going to be the small steps possibly.
And if there seems to be a stall, we can just go, well, it must must not be God's time yet. There's nothing wrong with praying and going, God, is there something I need to get fixed, right? The worst thing that we can do is study in preparation for something God wants us to do, and then not do what we've studied. You know, because I might have an academic understanding of something, but God's waiting for me to get the experiential knowledge behind this.
That's so important.
Yeah, it's very
I can read a book on how to do surgery, but you don't want me to do surgery.
Yeah,
if I haven't had practice doing it, right?
I was gonna make it similar to
Hope
that.
not.
I can read a recipe book, but you don't want me cooking.
We don't want you cooking. You're right.
Okay, so we got a game. Explain the game to us again.
Okay. Let me.
She tried earlier.
It's
Yeah,
a game
I
that a game that coincides with what we've been talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Doesn't-
So the
No,
first.
I forgot. What were we talking about?
Faith in the waiting room.
Faith in the waiting room. Right.
Faith.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. So our first. So there's 2 rounds. It's faith.
You need my glasses?
No, I'm trying to find it because this is set up weird. Okay, Faith in the Waiting Room Challenge. Now let me scroll all the way back down to the questions. Okay, so the first round is Would You Wait Faith Edition. So each guest answers wait or not wait. So you'd say that you would wait or you would not wait, basically.
Okay. So you're going to give us scenarios.
Okay.
Yep.
And
We
then,
And then you have to.
wait or not wait.
Okay.
Yep. And then you have to defend your answer.
Not wait.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, wait, you're not started yet.
All right, our first question is God promises to use you in ministry, but says the preparation season is 7 years long. Wait or not wait?
Well, obviously it'd wait, right? I mean,
It's wait.
it's
Wait.
of course we'd wait, right? If that's what he's preparing you for, and you know there's something in that you're preparing for something,
Or if you're going to jump ahead, God wants me to get into ministry, but I'm
and
going to do
then
it in
I don't know
7
nothing.
weeks.
In
It's
in
like-
7 days or something. You're like next week.
Yeah, that's going to work out well.
Yeah.
I was only one. I don't know. Your dad may know him. W.L. Bryant. Yeah, your dad probably knows him.
Probably.
Old. He taught me back a long time ago, and he's the only person I know that got saved one Sunday, and he was preaching the next Sunday.
Wow.
Dang.
Hey, guy was.
Hey, God can do that.
But he was
Yeah,
he was
Paul.
a professor. Yeah, God could do that. I'm sure he probably you know, ran aground a few times with his preaching, but he was a good preacher. So, anyway,
Okay, our
Did I
next.
get the answer right?
Yes.
Okay.
But,
I got
she-
1,000 points. I answered first.
yeah, she got it done. I got 10,000. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. You know you've met the one, but God tells you marriage isn't for another 5 years. Wait or not wait?
You answer
I'm going to say
Wait.
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 Okay, why?
Why would I wait?
Mhm.
Well, if God told me to wait, I would wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're kind of easy
It's-
answers.
you're
aren't they?
asking me
You're
this.
asking us.
She's
that-
asking me this, and I got married the day after I graduated from high school. Did I wait? Yes, I waited 24 hours.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
not even that.
He waited 2 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like
That's
next day's
crazy.
long enough. What?
But what?
You're
What do you
crazy.
mean?
She's
That
saying
you got married like the next day.
Yeah,
What?
graduated Sunday night.
At least he didn't get married the next day after he turned 18.
How old were you?
I was 18. She was already out of school. She graduated the year before, so
Oh,
I
she
graduated.
was
at-
waiting on you.
Yeah, she had to wait on me.
She's like, come on,
Nah.
hurry
7
up.
o'clock on Sunday night. 6 o'clock on Sunday night. I graduated. 2 o'clock on Monday afternoon. I was married.
Not even 24 hours,
Not even
Cammy.
24 hours.
Wow.
But we were engaged for. What are you looking at me like? Hey,
You're
I'm
engaged
guessing-
for what? 2 days? How long?
2 years.
2 years?
Uh-huh.
So you already knew. You were engaged. You were going to get married
Mm-hmm.
right out of high school?
Well, we were. Yeah, things came around, and it kind of goes. Well, her mom was going to do it, and then her mom wasn't going to do it, and there's no way I was going to ask my parents to do it. So it's like, you know, how I can even tell you how much my wedding cost. You ready?
$0.
No,
What?
$6.38.
What? What was that?
I can remember that still.
What
That's how much her bouquet cost.
Oh.
I gave the preacher a 20, and he gave it back to him, and he said, "I wish everybody's wedding was like this, because there's like 7 people at our wedding."
Dang.
What? Really?
Yeah. Let's see,
Okay.
Laura. Okay, see, me and Laura, the preacher, my best man and her sister. So that's 5. My mom and dad and sister, 8. That's it.
Wow.
Dang.
That's crazy.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
I'd
crazy.
wait.
My mom still didn't think it's gonna last, so
She's still.
it's only been 47 years. So, anyway.
Yeah, I definitely
it
wait.
worked.
I knew I was going to marry my husband when I was really young, so I waited a long time until we got married.
Long time.
A long time. I was waiting for God to bring him to me.
So I
He
guess
did.
you did wait a long time. I
Yeah.
waited 2 years. Is that
You wait
enough?
2 years?
You said 5.
Yeah, I said 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I waited longer than that.
The only thing that was holding y'all back was not being 18.
No.
was not being adults.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
you were just trying to finish school, high school.
Yeah.
That's it.
Get
It
out
wasn't
of-
even the age; it was just whatever.
I had my So we got married at 2 o'clock on Monday. Went to Kansas City for our honeymoon. Great place for a honeymoon. Got back home Monday afternoon, and then that Wednesday I started work.
Man.
Yep. So
Dang. No way. Here's our next question. You pray for healing, but the answer doesn't come right away. Wait or not wait?
you have no choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't really have a choice, right?
I'm
You
not
said-
going to wait for you to heal me.
I know,
Yeah.
but what are you doing? You're waiting anyway. You're definitely on God's time when you're
Yeah.
ill, right? I mean, what are you gonna do? Well, some people go to like the best doctors and the best places, and they have money to go fly you here, whatever. But you're still waiting on God.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much money you have, where you send them, what you're doing. It's ultimately God's decision to do whatever He's doing.
No way. Here's the next question because they've been pretty easy so far. Okay.
Oh.
God gives you a vision for your dream career, but says the door won't open until you're fully ready. Wait or not wait?
That actually happened to me, and it's wait. Wait.
Wait. for
Why?
sure. Why'd you wait?
The
Why?
same reason. The same reason I had to wait on ministry is because I wasn't. I had my own ideas of what leadership looked like, and it took me having a different, several different leaders and non-leaders that I worked for to know what. I mean, I had a lot of leaders that I worked for over that 22-year period of time, and I learned, like someone would say, sometimes you learn how to be a good leader. Sometimes you learn what not to do
Right.
by watching them,
Mm-hmm.
and that's. I mean, I had every different type of manager, in and out, and myself, just a lot. So, you had no choice, and some of the things I entered into are things that in corporate America didn't exist. We actually started some of this stuff that wasn't in the workforce at the time. So I had to wait on it because I didn't know what it was, right? Until it popped up. So someone's great idea. No. But you know what? Worked out well. It worked out well. Really paid. It played to my. It played to my strength. It played to my weakness. My ADD, because I got to do a whole bunch of different things, and I could switch on and off all the time, and move to this, move to that, do this, do that, and that job path played to those skills.
Sure.
It became a skill. It became a skill.
Cami, do you have anything on this topic or on
You
this question?
talk
I
about your
forgot the
ADD.
question.
Oh.
I don't have ADD.
You want me to
forgot.
read it to you again?
Yeah.
Or, okay. God gives you a
Go.
okay. God gives you a vision for your dream career, but says the door won't open until you're fully ready.
Sure. Yeah, of course I wait. I didn't really have a choice. Just like when I first thought I was going to be a pediatrician doctor. That was my plan. But I had to wait. I mean, I waited because I put myself to college and I had to work and pay
What
my
was
own
it?
way and
The
stuff.
blood?
No, I can do blood. It wasn't any of those things because I wanted to be a pediatrician. Ultimately, later when it was not easy for me to get into the college I said I wanted to go to for pharmacy to be a doctor and whatnot. The doors weren't opening. So it was like, okay, well, I think I'm going to veer this way. So I had gotten into pharmacy by, I say accident. God put me there many years back because I thought, well, it's in the medical field. You know, they said, hey, we need help back here. Okay, I'll work. I was still going to college and all this working. So that's where I thought. Then later I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll go to pharmacy school. I like this job. Never thought about it before. Didn't know what that career was. And I was like, okay, we'll get into pharmacy. And then once again, it was like, where am I going from here? I thought I was going to be going now to pharmacy school, and the doors didn't open there either. But I didn't search very hard either because I was thinking something is happening, that something is changing, and I don't know what it is. And I was praying like, what do I do? Where do I go? What do I do? So I had to wait. I was waiting, and I didn't even know why I was waiting at that point. My journey to understand who Christ was and to be living for God really wasn't there at that point even. But even still, God still had his hands on me and was watching me. And even though I wasn't really listening, things were changing. My path was changing, and I didn't even know why. So then it just completely changed. I had to wait. So then this way, I waited, and it took me a completely different way. And here I am 33 years later.
But the training you took this way still led you to that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the thing.
So you and I, we've talked about this before. Where what am I going to do this week? I'm going to be a fireman, and next week I'm going to be a cowboy, and next week it's like you go down the path.
Wherever we're going to go, wherever we're going to lead, wherever God, if we truly listen, wherever He's going to lead us, the way there is important. If you're listening and find out what is it that He wants me to do now, what is it, like we said, it's like in the moment now. What am I doing now to get to where maybe you think you're going to be, but where God is putting you. Yeah, that waiting time, man, that was a long time for me, and thinking I'm going this, I'm going to do this and this. Like I said, here 33, 34 years later.
Yeah, when I'd surrendered and I said, okay, it's now I got to start studying. I started to get these college courses under my belt. It was the time that in my corporate career, I was 3 days a week sometimes in a hotel, and it was at least 4 hours one way flying. So I get to study, and then when I don't go out. If Laura's not with me to go do something, I don't go out. So I order a pizza and do studies. So it just seemed to fall into place just at the right. I was in am I in the right job I'm supposed to be in? Yeah, I'm learning this. Well, wait a second, I'm supposed to go into ministry. Yeah, all of a sudden now these windows of opportunity to study came open. How am I going to get this college stuff done when I'm doing this stuff at Fidelity and all of this at the same time? And it played out.
God gave you that space, that time, and that's what you're supposed to do with that time, right?
So
all the steps along the way are important for something that He has planned for you, for sure.
Yeah.
Here's our next question, and this is our last question for this round. You're offered a shortcut that looks easier, but you sense God saying, not this way. Wait or not wait?
Wait.
Still got to wait.
Yeah.
The shortcut is never good. There's never a good shortcut. Right?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Someone wants to go to, let's go back to Bible college. They want to go to Bible college and they want to get it all done. And, I got to get 4 years in 3 years or 2.5 years. I got to get all this ready to go. And it's like, but what you may be missing out on is somebody you would have talked to in the third year, someone that had given you a contact in the third year, or someone that I know a lot of the college and university people. They go to school and then they develop these relationships, develop this network. So when they get out into the field, to get out into what they're doing, they know people that they can connect with to do those things. Well, what if you miss the guy because he was there the third year, or the gal, or even your wife? She's there the third year, but you graduated in 2.5 years. You miss it.
Yeah.
Right. So you get married the day after graduation.
So you don't miss her.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. That was round one. I think we both scored. I think she scored
points.
1 million and I scored 2 million.
Okay.
So I think I'm ahead.
This other one? This is another game?
Yep, this is round 2. It says fast forward or pause. So pick fast forward to skip waiting, or pause to embrace it and learn.
Okay, go on. Sorry, go ahead.
It's kind of like the same concept. Okay. Would you fast forward Joseph's prison years, or pause and let God shape his character there?
Character? Pause? It's the same thing that we were doing before, right?
Yeah.
So we pause. So
we just
we'd wait.
Use different words.
Right.
Yeah.
Now this is pause.
Yeah.
We wait, of course, because like as we've been saying, things that happen in the interim, the waiting time, those are important things that are happening.
Yep.
It was on purpose to shape him. I know I've been shaped by a lot of things that have happened to me, right? Things happen and like, well, that changed me. Yeah, it should.
Joseph is actually his own perfect example of this. Remember when the butler and the baker came to the prison? They were thrown into prison with him.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
the butler, he was the king's right hand man, said we both had a dream and we're both concerned about it. And they both tell the dream, and he says the butler, he says you're going to get out. He says now when you get out, don't forget me. And then he tells the baker, oh, you're going to die in 3 days. And sure enough, both of it happened. And then if you read, I think it ends the chapter with that the baker, or I'm sorry, the butler, when he got out, forgot to tell Joseph, to tell the king about Joseph, the Pharaoh. Now, that's important because if he had told him and got him out, he'd have sit around for a couple of years before anything happened, and he wouldn't be relevant. But when the king or when the Pharaoh had the dream and needed somebody to answer the dream, okay, so Joseph gets. Let's say it worked out the way Joseph thought. He goes, helps the butler. The butler gets out. The butler helps him get out, and he sits around and doesn't do anything. Doesn't contribute, and he sits there. He's not doing any more leading. He's not leading anybody at this point. So he gets out. The butler gets out. He forgets when Pharaoh has the dreams. He goes, oh yeah, I remember. There's the guy that told me this. Joseph goes from prison, not to nobody. He goes from prison to second in the kingdom. Why? Because it was the right time, right? So he wanted it, get me out of here,
Right.
right? God goes, no, you're going to stay there a little while longer, right? It's when you're needed, they come out. So, so Joseph is the example of waiting.
For sure.
When you think you're ready to get out, and God goes, no, you're going to stay there.
All right. Here's our next question. Would you fast forward Hannah's years of praying for a child or pause?
Fast forward it. No. The same thought process that there's something happening there. I mean, there's definitely good that happens when we do pray and wait. When we're actually praying and waiting. I mean, because then should be listening to what God is trying to telling us. You know, it's not always. I know a lot of people, which I have myself. You know, were like, if God would just tell me, like, write it on a card and let me know the answer. I mean, that'd be so much easier, God. If you would just give me a billboard, something so that is in plain words that I need it written out to understand what's happening or what the answer is. But I think that's the whole purpose of praying and being diligent to do that. We need to go through that to hear. It's like practicing, right? I tell you guys, we need to practice.
Yeah. It's like the what she prayed to God in her desperation.
Yeah.
If we fast forward to that where there was no desperation, would she be willing to say, if you give me a son, I'll give him back to you? If she just got him.
Probably not. Yeah,
Right.
Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
what it took to get him, how she was diligent and like fervently praying for that son. Yeah, and said, "Man, you gave it to me. I'm gonna give him back to you." That's what she should have done. But yeah, would she have been willing to do that had she not worked that hard? I say worked that hard, but
Distraught.
yeah.
I mean, she was getting abused,
Yeah.
verbally abused by Penina. With that, with Hannah, and where would Samuel be if she had just gotten him? Right, easily. Who would Samuel be?
Who would he? Yeah, who would he be?
Yeah. So it's not just her waiting. It's her giving him to God, and then God. How could she ever have thought? Well, maybe he'll sweep the floor, right? Or be in charge of cleaning out the tabernacle or something, and he ends up becoming the prophet and judge of Israel. She couldn't have anticipated that. You can never anticipate what it's going to be, but you know when God's got you waiting, you're going to get something. Something's going to happen right, with that. So,
All right. Here's our next question. Would you fast forward the disciples 3 days of grief before resurrection morning or pause?
Before. What do you say? What do you say? Yeah. So pausing.
What was the
wait.
importance of the
So
wait?
Hmm?
What was the importance of the wait?
It had to be that way.
Why?
Because they didn't believe that he would have actually been dead if he
If
would
he-
have,
Okay. Why else?
to bring hope in the waiting. Oh, he also said that was going to happen. So
What was it? Prophetic.
yeah.
So these are going to be 3 days because he said it was a prophecy, right?
Mhm.
That he had
So it
given.
had
So
to be.
it was going to be that way. Yeah.
Mhm.
So imagine if this is crazy. This is crazy. This is how some people would be. And actually they're that way this way anyway, is that if Jesus would have rose again in 2 days instead of 3, they'd go, I mean, let's say it.
Mhm.
Jesus was dead. He rose again the second day, and people would say, well, he can't be Messiah because he rose the second day and not the third day. How many people have risen at all? Right?
Right.
Mhm.
From that. Now, they already do it because they'll already say it because, well, wait a second, it doesn't, when you calculate the time, it doesn't add up, right? Well, it's looking at from a Jewish time frame is where we get it. But it's like if he prophesied it, did all these things, and then we want to debate on, well, what time in the morning did he get up? Did he get up for brunch or did he get up before breakfast or did he, it's like, did he raise again? There's over 500 people that saw him raise again. I think he rose again.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that's the important part.
yeah.
Here's our last question. Would you fast forward Paul's years of waiting between conversion and ministry or pause?
It's the same with everything. He needed that
he
time.
had to go through all that.
He had
right,
to go
be-
through. There's the knowledge that he had without the wisdom that went with it, or with that clarity that went with it. He knew Old Testament.
Right.
He had to spend the time connecting the dots of the Old Testament to the New, to Christ. That would take time.
For sure. Definitely.
That's why it took me 14 years because I'm like Paul and
Um,
not true. It took me 14 years because I'm slower than Paul is. Yeah. And still
Right.
working at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So that was
that it?
pretty cool.
Did I win?
It seemed like no.
I
'cause-
think Cammy did. No.
Yeah,
I won.
you weren't keeping points.
I
Remember,
won.
I
No.
keep
I shot
score.
the BB gun. What? You
I
s-
keep score.
Oh, whatever.
You know the
I
games where they
won.
don't keep score.
Mm-hmm.
I keep score.
Kids basketball games.
We keep score. Everything there's a score. Well,
Yeah.
that was good. I hope this playing the game out. Really, the scenarios were to help us to people to think through those things. Do I rush through it or not?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's an opposite to this. Is that when God's telling you to do something, you drag your feet,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's another side to this coin that people need to consider. And if God's clearly telling you to do something, read something in Scripture that says you need to do this or you're commanded to do that, you don't drag your feet on that. You go with that. You go when you know you're supposed to go, where you're supposed to go, give like you're supposed to give, help, witness, whatever it is, when God tells you to do that. Because if you're wanting to hear these, because some of the things that she talked about that Cammie or that Kaya mentioned are nebulous kind of things. How do I know, right? Joseph, how do I know when I'm supposed to get out? How do I know it's the right time? This seems like the right time with this butler, but it wasn't. And if we don't learn to obey when we hear it, then we probably won't obey when he tells us to go either.
Mm-hmm.
We got to learn to know, do this. Why would God give me some other command when I won't obey the ones he's already given me? Right? So, anyway, is this a good place to stop?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Good.
Where are we at?
Yep.
54 minutes. Oh my
Yep.
goodness, you guys talk too much.
Gosh, talk too
All right.
much.
Yeah. Well, it was the game. It was the
Oh,
game.
Was the
And
game.
hey, congratulations. You came in second.
Oh, really? I think it was a tie. Arm wrestle?
You want to?
No.
Okay.
Forget it.
All right. So anyway, God bless y'all. Again, once again, be praying for the family, the Haley family, as they're down dealing with the loss of a loved one there. And when we say there are 4 in and 1 out, that one is you. But come back and see us again next Friday. Don't forget to click the buttons that's down around there somewhere about to subscribe so that you can catch every